On top of that, of course, is the tariff stuff. It kicks in just a couple of days' time, and he's going, I can't do much about it. What do you think?
Where's our Prime Minister? You know, we call to our Prime Minister to lead this country, not think of himself, but actually step up and ensure that our country is safe and that our alliances are strong. And he is simply failing and unable to do this. So my question is, if we want somebody who is actually a strong, capable and competent leader who could actually work with the United States and build strong relationships and create a long, viable plan, I actually know a female politician that's more than happy to make that call. I think her name starts with Pauline, so I challenge. Let's put it out there.
I'm with you. And may she,
not that hard.
Sooner rather than later, hopefully 3 years' time, get a little bit of assistance from a very close family supporter, particularly in the state of Tasmania. We love you, Lee, and the run that you made at this one at the federal election was very impressive. All right, Michael, I just want to show again part of what he had to say today before we move on to another key topic. Have a look.
Curtin's famous statement that Australia looked to America was much more than the idea of trading one strategic guarantor for another, or swapping an alliance with the old world for one with the new. It was a recognition that Australia's fate would be decided in our region.
All right, let's turn again to Victorian politics here, Michael, where it seems that there's probably going to be a treaty process which is going to be put in place before the next Victorian election. Now, I went through in chapter and verse through the week, and geez, didn't I get the hate mail for it, reading both parts of the report, one being the truth-telling bit. That seemed to annoy a few people, but I'm going to tell you what's in it, right? But then there's the other, which is the list of claims, which of course all come after the emotional impact of the truth-telling bit. You have a Premier who has openly said that everything's on the table and basically has never pushed back against any suggestion, which among other things are Indigenous people pay no taxes, right? Pay no taxes. So there would literally be two classes of peoples. Do you think that the treaty with Indigenous Victorians will be signed by Alan before the election?
I do. For the cynical reason, mate, that she's got no more money to spend. She's bankrupted Victoria, so there are no projects. When you go to the election, there's no projects she can spend any money on. No bridges and roads and train lines to nowhere, to the skies. That's all gone. No hospitals, no new schools, whatever. Right? She's got no money to spend.
Legacy bill.
She's got to come up with some agenda. She's got to come up with some agenda, and this is, you know, the agenda. This is going to be part of her election agenda, because if you can't spend money as a Labor leader, you haven't got much else. Now, this is going to be extremely divisive. We've just been through this debate, haven't we? Dividing Australians by race forever. Privileges for one race over the other. This is not the Australian way. This is what Australians overwhelmingly rejected. She would be hoping that you can just get this through the Parliament. How do people object? It's all covered in sweetness and light and reparations, etc. I see the IPA say the reparations could be $50 billion or more. Victoria's bankrupt as it is. So this, again, is a road to permanent division, and the Labor Party should not be part of it. She should accept the view of the Australian public and the 54% of Victorians who also voted against the voice, mate.